Hi, Akila.
Hi, Reena. Nice
Hi.
to see you. Yeah.
Same here. So, my friends, Akila Vaidyanathan is a parent of a 24-year-old boy, an adult with autism, and she is the founder of Amaze Charitable Trust, and she's
Mhm.
also an active member of the Autism Society of India. So, welcome, Akila. It's so great to talk to you. And
Thank you so much for having me, Reena. Yeah.
mhm. Can you tell me more about the camp that you conduct? I've heard a lot about your camp, and I've seen so many pictures of so many of my friends, and they praise the camp like anything. It's amazing experience.
Absolutely. The adventure camps that we do is what people think. They some people think that's the only thing we do, but it's a very lovely part of what we do. But it's a very minute part. It's just for about 10 days a year that we are doing adventure camps, but it has a wide reach. And the experience is so amazing. I must say, I have gone for 20 camps till now. Every camp that we've conducted, I've been there, but I'm ready to go back for more. So there are two things that are amazing about it. Is one is usually it is the environment is somewhere in nature. So I think this is something very commonly I hear with our children. When we go back to nature, they become absolutely calm. They are
But I think
not
that's
at
true.
all.
But that's true for all of us, no? Not just our kids.
Yeah,
It's true for
yeah,
all of us.
yeah.
Yeah.
So the environment itself is very soothing. Our camp started in Kunur near Uti. So it is in the hills. The temperature is down. You're surrounded by eucalyptus trees and tea gardens, and that is one thing that calms you down immediately. The second thing is the nature of the activities. It is so exciting, and usually it's something they've never attempted because of the special needs. They never thought that this is something the child can do. So it's really exciting to see the children just complete the activities with ease. Most of them, I have seen 75% of the children complete the activity with ease. In fact, some parents have more issues than the children. So it's a great equalizer. That's something that your kid is doing better than you. You always feel nice about it, and so that gives a lot of confidence. A lot of barriers are broken in terms of going back and trying new things, trying something that's a little scary or difficult,
So
taking the kid
what
out.
are the kind of activities that are kind of done in the adventure camp? Like what are the kinds?
Basically, it is there are some high rope activities where, like the Burma Bridge. The Burma Bridge is something that was built like a rope, like the Lakshman Jula.
Yes.
So it's something that you walk on. It's not very stable, so you have to balance yourself and go across. So that is one of the activities. There is a sloth walk where you have two ropes and you're hanging on to those two ropes and crossing a particular area. You have things like rock climbing, rappelling, where you come down. So it's not like an artificial rock. So you're doing it on a real rock, uh, the climbing or the coming down. And in our Pune camp, we also have kayaking and river crossing. So all of this is done with safety equipment. Both the sites, both the NAL site, which is in Kunur, as well as Water's Edge, which is the site in Pune, and they're all certified sites by the government, and all the trainers are certified trainers. So it is done with also very safe helmets and harness and all the equipment. So the safety is taken care of. But what happens in something that looks so scary, and you actually go and complete it, is that you overcome, something changes inside you. You feel that you've achieved something, and then when you do it as a group,
Hmm.
hello,
Yeah, yeah.
when you do, yeah, when you do it as a group, there is even more, euphoria, because there are people clapping for you and you're
Yeah,
encouraging you. So it takes that to a different sort of a high.
yeah.
So this is another thing that happens. And the third lovely thing that happens is, of course, the bonding among the participants. So usually we have about an average of 70 participants, and about which is about 20-25 individuals with autism or other disabilities and their families or siblings and all come along. So about 70 participants bond with each other through the 3 days. So it is again, it helps in that sort of they go back and they keep in touch with each other, and it creates that community kind of feeling. There is a lot of exchange of information, as well as for 3 days they are in this sort of a cocoon where they don't need to worry about their child's behavior, or the parents feel really comfortable that they
Yeah.
don't have to really think about what if the child is running around, then everybody, you find that not only you but another couple of moms or dads running with you to go get the child or something. So that sort of
Yeah.
bonding that is
Is there
happening.
any is
And
there any age group that you take the kids?
usually adventure activities, they have to be at least 6 years old, because they need to get into the harness. That is the main criteria for us. If they cannot, they're too small and they can't get into the safety equipment, then it's a challenge. But we've had siblings, the babies as young as 6 months, come into the camp. Obviously, they didn't participate in the activity, so we actually offer it free for anyone less than 6 years old. If the sibling or somebody is coming along, because unfortunately they can't participate in the activities, they can come along for the trekking. Usually in Kunur, we also do because it's a lovely mountainous area. Major part, about 40% of the activities is trekking. So they can obviously come along for that, but they can't do the high rope or the high risk activities if the harness won't stay on.
It sounds really fun. Can you, I mean,
You
I
must
remember,
come sometime. The Pune camp is close enough, and even though Kunur camp is just, a 4 hour flight. So
I
do
would
join us
rather come
sometime.
to Kunur rather than Pune because it's so beautiful. I've heard so much about it,
Yeah,
you know. I
yeah,
wanted to, you remember on that day we were discussing about nature and how you were always, as a family, uh, with nature. Would you want to talk more about it? So, the people who are listening, I mean, I always keep talking to parents and that the kids should be outdoors. They need to spend a lot of time outdoors. And when you spoke to me the other day, I was like, wow, you're actually living that, you know. So, can you explain more?
sure. See, I think one thing is that as a family, even as a couple, my husband and I, both of us are very much nature loving people. I grew up in many places, but my earliest memories is in front of the sea. So the sea is something I really love. And my grandparents lived in the hills. So we used to go back to the hills, the Nilgiri hills, every summer vacation, and so did my husband study in the Nilgiris. So this the hills is something that really beckon us as that, and we feel very nice, very calm when we go for a trek, and nothing like that. Nothing can replace that feeling for us. So right from when Nishant was a little child, uh, we lived in Singapore then, so we used to take him to the sea quite often, and he took to the sea like he used to just run into the waves. We were scared that he'll be, consumed by the waves, but it was like they were beckoning him. And so we always made sure every weekend almost that we did an outing. We either went cycling or we went trekking, and it was usually in nature. And one of the reasons why we moved to Coimbatore was to be near the hills and to be able to go for a. So we would go for a trek every weekend. It was no exaggeration. Every weekend till I think till about 6-7 years ago, where it came down a bit because my daughter got busy with her higher studies and stuff like that. Even then, Nishant would go with somebody, either his dad or his facilitator for a trek to a hill nearby. He just enjoys it. In nature, he's our leader. He goes into it with so much energy, and we just follow his lead. So it's something that I don't know. It's to be experienced. But we come back always from a. If we go for a trek, we come back. It's like you've had a real nice massage. That's a
No,
maybe
and
that's some.
no, and
Yeah,
that's what we all got when we were kids. And I think that's what
yeah,
we can definitely give to our kids, the gift of connecting back
absolutely.
to nature, no? And that's
Yeah,
what sensory diet, when we talk about proprioceptive input, vestibular input, yes, we can
yeah.
do it in therapy, but this is also equally important. Yeah.
Absolutely, absolutely. You guys do a great job with the young people, but as they grow older, I think they need to also, we talk about certain children who really need this for the rest of their life, and my son is one of them. He needs the vestibular input, he needs the proprioceptive input, he needs, a deep pressure
It's
input.
like, see,
And
we all need it all the time. It's just the way we
yeah,
take it changes, Some initially
yeah,
in the form of therapy, and then it's like what you're doing. That's amazing. Out in the
yeah.
yeah, yeah,
Out in nature, you get everything. See, if you walk many time after a trek, Nishant will just take off his shoes and socks and walk on that surface. It could be mud or grass. You just reach some point where there's an opening, and that gives him so much joy. You know. These things one cannot replicate in a institutional or in a therapy room or something like that.
exactly, exactly. In fact, the Japanese technique, what they call as forest bathing,
Yeah,
that's all that people are getting to know now, that even 20 minutes time spent in nature really helps. What you just mentioned
yeah.
about Nishant walking without his shoes and socks, it's like earthing. It really helps that way also, so it's beautiful.